want to welcome and introduce some folks to you. This is our 87th annual meeting of the members of South Point Financial Credit Union. My name is Troy Diedrich. I'm the Chief Experience Officer for South Point, and I'm also our moderator this afternoon. Our meeting today is going to be led by two presenters, Matt Lux and Jay Gostanzik. Matt is your board chair of the board of directors for the credit union, and Jay is the Chief Executive Officer for South Point. Our guest speaker today will be Cherish Holland with Lutheran Social Services. She'll be sharing her thoughts regarding financial empowerment. That's a topic that aligns very well with South Point's vision statement of empowering people to enhance lives. In attendance today, up front are the volunteer members of the board of directors, our supervisory committee, as well as our community advisory committee. If you're interested in knowing more about those individuals, there's a picture and the names listed on page 3 in your program. Also, your program is available out on our website. So for folks who are not able to attend, you can certainly direct them to our website. That program is available out there on our website. And if you are attending virtually, which we will have, between 50 and 100 people attending this meeting virtually right now, they also have that copy in a PDF that is available through the online meeting app. In your report, you're going to also find information about the Grassroots Education and Action Team, which we refer to as GREAT. GREAT is a communication tool for you all, us as staff and volunteers of the credit union. It's used, if you register for GREAT, you will get information about what's happening at a national and state level politically that may have an impact on being a member of South Point, or also what's going on in the credit union industry. So we encourage you, there's a card that is in your information. It's a registration card. Feel free to sign up to be a part of GREAT. We will collect any one of the staff that have our name tags. We can take those applications from you at any time during the meeting or after the meeting, and we will help get you registered for GREAT. It is very, very interesting to get information about what is going on in Washington and Washington, D.C. and St. Paul that does affect the cooperative industry as well as the credit union industry. And it does connect you to your local legislators if you do want to reach out and you have some input with regards to an issue that may be impacting cooperatives or impacting the credit. There's also information in your annual report related to South Point's newest premium checking account. We want to get that information out to as many members as possible. It's an interest-bearing checking account. So there's information in there for your review. There's also a coupon in there. That coupon is what we refer to as a refer-a-friend coupon. We have a big initiative happening at South Point that actually started back in 2020, and it will run through the end of 2025. We call it 40 by 25, and 40 by 25 is a membership initiative. Back in 2020, when we started 40 by 25, we had about roughly 23,000 member owners of the South Point cooperative. Our goal is to hit 40,000 members by the end of 2025. And so every time you have an opportunity to talk to someone who's not a member about the value that you see by being a member of South Point, it helps build our member owner numbers of the cooperative. And that also brings more financial empowerment to those individuals that you would like to be a part of our cooperative. This meeting, including the presentation, is being live streamed, like I mentioned. It'll be recorded, saved out on our website in the days to come. If you have any questions or comments about the meeting or the format, please do share them with us. Our email address, marketing@southpointfinancial.com. Again, marketing@southpointfinancial.com. We love comments. We use your comments to help make this meeting, as well as any other activities, our Member Appreciation Day, any other events, Financial Literacy Month, Youth Savings Month, the month of April. We use your feedback in order to make our programs better. So I'm going to invite to the stage Matt Lux. Matt is the chairperson of our board of directors and has been on our board for the last 20 years. So Matt.
Thank you, Troy. A few notes before we get started here. As Troy said, it is live streamed, and we'll have our business meeting after we have a guest speaker. A few notes here. The agenda for today includes a special presentation on financial empowerment from Lutheran Social Services. Following the presentation, we will conduct our business meeting. And then, of course, what everybody's been waiting for, after the business meeting, we'll have our drawing for the prizes. We want to stick around for that. Today's guest speaker is Cherry Holland. She has worked with thousands of individuals and families to increase their financial well-being since beginning her career with LSS Financial Counsel in 1996. She has had the honor of hearing their stories and walking with them on their financial journeys. Cherry is a passionate advocate for consumer protection and normalizing conversations about money. She has conducted financial education workshops nationwide for in-person and webinar audiences. She has been a consultant to several denominations that are addressing economic challenges facing pastoral leaders. Cherry serves on the board of directors of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America and is a member of the New London Spicer School Board. Please welcome Cherry Holland.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the applause. It's always nice to have a warm welcome. So yes, my name is Cherish Holland. It said it up there, but it was maybe hard to read. I'm from the Wilmer office of Lutheran Social Service, and like it said, I live in the New London Spicer community. And I am here today to talk about financial empowerment, in specific ways to protect yourself from identity theft. So one way to empower your finances is to really, if you've built a good, strong pyramid, is to protect it. And I will tell you why protecting from identity theft is so important to me personally. And those of you who catch, how long have I worked at Lutheran Social Service? Did anyone catch it? Since the 1900s. I have high schoolers and they like to say that. I have worked there since the 1900s. I have worked there since 1996. So I have been doing presentations about preventing identity theft for a lot of years. And I will tell you, unfortunately, 4 years ago, my parents live in Omaha. My dad has actually passed away in this time, but my parents have this daughter who does presentations about how to protect herself from identity theft. And 4 years ago, their identity was stolen. 4 credit cards were taken out in their name in the amount of $32,000. It was a terrible time for my family. My dad was actually going through treatment for a brain tumor that has since taken his life. It was a terrible time. So when I do these presentations now, I am passionate about it because I am going to help you empower yourself or family members to prevent something like this from happening to you. So I'm going to give you practical steps. There are sheets on your tables. It's a 2-sided sheet, but we're going to be working on the identity theft. So, you know, we hear a lot about like crimes increasing or online scams, things like that. But identity theft is really different in that people aren't trying to take assets from you necessarily. What they are trying to take from you is information. So, right? They're trying to get information from you so that they can use that to do fraudulent activity in your name. So it's very important. I don't know, any of you here have experience with identity theft, if you're comfortable saying or know someone who's been a victim? People from the credit union for sure. So So we're going to talk about specific steps that these are on the sheet, and we're going to talk about them individually. So the first thing that you can do to decrease your chances of identity theft is that you can sign up for informed delivery from the Postal Service. Who knows what informed delivery is all about? Anybody have it? Yeah. Is it easy? Yeah, it's very easy. So what informed delivery is you can sign up. It's free through the U.S. Postal Service, and then you will receive an email or a text message that shows what items of mail are coming to your mailbox that day. So how many of you here have a secure mailbox where you actually have to use a key to get into it? I do, a few of you. Not most of us, right? So we want to prevent people from taking your mail. And one of the ways preventing individuals from taking your mail is doing informed delivery. It is very easy. It's through the U.S. Postal Service, and the information is there on this sheet about how to sign up for informed delivery. So this would have really helped my parents if they had been doing this. My mom does it now. She knows when something's coming. You know, if you're getting a tax refund or something like that in the mail, if it's not direct deposit, you'll know when that's coming. Informed delivery. Who's going to do that now? I want to see more hands. Who else is going to do it? Yay. Informed delivery. It's a good deal. And does it cost money? It is free. Yes, thank you. The second thing that is really important to do in order to prevent identity theft is to occasionally, at least annually, we would say, get a free copy of your credit report. You can do that. Now, there's all kinds of places where you can go online and pay to get a copy of your credit report. But this is an actual free place where you can get a copy of your credit report. It's on this sheet. It's at annualcreditreport.com. So a few years ago, there was actually, it was after the Equifax data breach, credit reports became accessible to all of us. So why are we going online to look at a copy of our credit report? What would we be looking for in order to prevent identity theft? Yeah, so someone said any new credit cards have been taken out in your name. Absolutely right. So we're looking if there's anything on your credit report that just doesn't seem right. So again, this is a free service. They might try to sell you at annualcreditreport.com that you can buy your credit score. We would say as a tool for protecting your identity, you don't need to pay for your credit score. You just want to look at the items to make sure that things are showing up correctly. And if you have any problems with that, we can help you at Lutheran Social Service because of this partnership through South Point. We can help you review your credit report. So signing up signing up annually, you can get, there's 3 major credit reporting bureaus, and you can get a free copy every year from each of those 3 major credit reporting bureaus. And actually, right now, still due to COVID, you can even get it, I think it's every week, or is it every day? You know, credit union people, it's more often than annually, even. Weekly, thank you. Should read my own slides. The third thing that you can do to prevent identity theft is to monitor your Social Security statement annually. Is anyone doing this? Some of you might be to get Social Security, but in the old days, like in the 1900s, we used to get these statements at our house, right? You signed up for it. Now it's all done electronically. But it is really important to go and to see that your earnings are matching what Social Security is reporting. Why is that? Wow, gosh, if it says I have double the income, wouldn't that be a great thing? No, unfortunately, that might mean that someone's using my Social Security number to work, and that also might be a sign that I'm a victim of identity theft. So this is another great tool to monitor your and prevent identity theft. So who is going to sign up for, or who is going to go in and get out my account for Social Security? Start reviewing. Okay, some of you again might be getting this already. The number one thing you could do. So if you don't like those other 3 things, if you don't like informed delivery, if you don't like annualcreditreport.com, or you're like, Cherish, I'm just not going to go do the Social Security. I am telling you, if you could do one thing and one thing only, it would be to freeze your credit. This is the best tool. If my parents had done this, it would have saved me literally over 100 hours of time that it took to clean up the mess that it was because their identity had been stolen. So freezing your credit is, there's again, 3 major credit reporting bureaus. And what freezing your credit does is it allows no new accounts to be open unless you want them to be open, unless you give permission to the credit union. If you go in and apply for a loan, you can unfreeze it. We're going to talk about how to do that in a second. But freezing your credit, you can still use the accounts you have. So if you have a credit card, you still pay your car loan the same, your mortgage is the same, but this is opening any new lines of credit. So this, again, is the single most important thing you could do. And it is free. It used to cost money. So Minnesota was a little ahead of the game with some consumer protection, but it used to cost money to freeze and unfreeze it, and now it does not. So here are the 3 major credit reporting bureaus and how to freeze your credit. The sheets that you have in front of you have this. If you're at home, take a screenshot of this if you have a phone so that you can go back and freeze your credit. Now, do you need to freeze your credit at all 3 credit bureaus? Yes, you do. That's the correct answer. You do need to freeze it at all 3 credit bureaus. It is really important in order for someone to, or if they, you don't know what identity theft or identity thief, which credit bureau they might be using. So you need to do this at all 3 credit reporting bureaus. And there's a lot out right now about, you might have heard about a credit lock or a credit freeze. Credit lock, there's programs out there. Some of the credit bureaus even have their own products. Sometimes they're free. Sometimes they cost money. Credit locking is not protected and not sanctioned by the federal government. The credit freeze is. So we would really say, if you want to spend the money and lock your credit, you can do that. I just recently got a different car loan, and I will tell you, I unfroze my credit. It was very, very easy to do that. So don't think that you have to pay for a product in order for it to work. We would really encourage you, stay on that right side and look at freezing your credit. And again, you can always lift that freeze if you need a new account. If you have been a victim of identity theft, this is a great resource, identitytheft.gov. Again, I know the steps to take when if a person's been a victim. I've helped hundreds of families get through identity theft. When it was my parents, I was overwhelmed. And I went to this site and it was extremely helpful. Sometimes you just need to know where to turn. You do have to file a police report. That can be a barrier for some people, like, police reporting is much, much easier on things like on these type of crimes, and they've really streamlined the process, but you do need a case number. And it is really important that, I know sometimes it can feel embarrassing. That's why I like to tell my parents' story too, and they've given me permission to do that because we want to help others not be a victim of identity theft and be empowered to manage. So again, I'm just going to ask for your commitment today to be financially empowered and look at freezing your credit. And again, sharing this information with others. So if you have, again, my credit was frozen, but my parents wasn't. I wish I had done that ahead of time. The Christmas after my parents' identity was taken, I sat down at the table after Christmas dinner and I helped my in-laws freeze their credit, because that's a gift that we can help encourage other people as well. So again, because of the partnership that LSS Financial Counseling and LSS Financial Choice has with South Point, you are eligible for 6 free appointments with us. So please, if you have questions about how to freeze your credit, how to protect yourself, anything around consumer protection, let us know. We have counselors throughout the state of Minnesota, and we are here to help work with you to be financially empowered and protect your finances. So I'm going to stick around after. I know there's often questions after this. We just are so appreciative of the partnership with South Point, and I appreciate your time in listening today. And please be empowered and take action.
Thank you, Cherish. Very good information. In today's world, protecting your personal financial information is critical. So moving forward, I would like to call the 87th annual meeting to order. One more note, there will be a couple of motions that will have to be made during the meeting. Well, I'd like to basically inform you that to make a motion, indicate your motion, state your name for both a motion and a second. And we will then verify with the attendee registration list to make sure everything's done up and up and get things recorded correctly. I believe Wendy will be helping us out on that. With Troy. So proof of notice pursuant to our bylaws, proof of notice was published in the second quarter newsletter and contained within the March 31st, 2023 statement. Notices have also been posted in each of the branch offices 35 days prior to the meeting today. South Point's bylaws specify that we need a quorum to conduct our annual meeting. Troy and Adam, Troy being moderator, Adam being the secretary, based on the number of attendees, can you assert that a quorum is present?
Yes, we can.
Okay, the quorum is attained. So thank you. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. The minutes from the 86th annual meeting held on April 19th, 2022 are included in your packet and available on the registration website. The bylaws require that those minutes be read unless there is approval to waive the reading of those minutes. I would entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and accept the previous annual meeting minutes as presented. Who would like to make that motion? Gentlemen. And do I have a second? Steve Walter makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes. Thank you. I'll move on to the director's report. This past year was a busy year for South Point. The board and management team tackled many issues. Some issues were on the radar screen for a while, and others came to light as the year progressed. As a team, we worked together to lead South Point in a direction that is best for the membership. As a board, it is our duty to keep South Point a strong financial institution, both at the present time and into the future. Financial strength is a top priority at South Point. As Jay will show you, we are financially strong. We are positioned well during this current economic cycle. We have partnered with reputable outside consultants that work together with the management team to implement strategies that will keep South Point financially secure now and into the future. All of this is a result of the commitment you, the members, have to this credit union. Service to our members is also a top priority of the credit union. The core conversion that we implemented will give us the tools necessary to improve the service to our members. We are working on updating software that is tied onto the new core system to improve our member experience. Data security, as always, is a top priority while making all these improvements. Growth is also an important measure for a credit union. This includes membership, loans, and deposits. All these things need to occur in a balanced and controlled manner for a financial institution to succeed. Growth also includes management and staff, both in number and professional development. We need to develop future leaders for our credit union. In closing, I'd like to thank the management and staff for all their hard work and commitment to South Point. Their talent and our hard work are what makes South Point a success. I would also like to thank my fellow board members for their service and commitment to South Point and its members. I'd also like to thank the supervisory committee and the community advisory committee for all their work. Most of all, I would like to thank the members of South Point for their continued support. One more item before I hand it over to Jay is the supervisory committee report. The supervisory committee report is included in the annual report that is in your program and posted on the website. On behalf of the board, we want to thank the supervisory committee for the work they do as an independent voice for the membership. Now I'll hand it over to South Point CEO, Jay Costanzik.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 87th annual meeting of the membership. Before I get started, Cherish, I just want to let you know, and the rest of the members know, I was a victim of identity theft, and I did everything that you had on the screen. So, unfortunately for me, the crooks decided to move on to the next person, so I'm relatively unscathed. But I'm honored to be here and address you, and also to lead this amazing team of South Point staff. Today, I'm going to share with you some of the tremendous progress your thriving cooperative has made over the last year. Despite the challenges in the broader economy and also in parts of our industry, South Point continued to thrive. And our members continue to be at the heart of everything that we do. So let's take a quick look at the highlights, some of the highlights from last year. So looking back, at the last year, we've come a long way from our humble beginnings. From our small roots, we've grown into a thriving credit union with assets today totaling over $500 million. And it also puts us into some of the top credit unions in the state of Minnesota, all headquartered out of Sleepyhead, Minnesota. We're committed to continuing to grow our organization, expand our products and services, and provide our members with the highest quality financial products available. The growth that we've had is just a testament to the hard work and dedication of our staff, our board, and our volunteers, and also the loyalty of our members. I'm proud to report, over the past year, we've continued to offer the highest level of service to our members. Our team has worked tirelessly to ensure that every member receives the best financial products and services to meet their individual needs. Our commitment continues to be improving members' lives. It has driven us to invest in technology and innovation to provide the convenience and accessibility that our members demand. In February, as Matt mentioned, we completed the transformation of our core processing system. This initiative was certainly one of the largest projects that our organization has ever taken on. Whether it's improvements to online banking, mobile banking, communications, technologies like video chat, texting, chatbots, online screen sharing, or in-person services, we are constantly striving to make members' banking experience as seamless and as efficient as possible. As we look ahead, I'm confident that we'll continue to grow and to thrive, building upon our successes and addressing any challenges that may arise. Our team is dedicated to continuing to provide the highest level of service to you, our members, investing in technology and innovation, and supporting our communities. So let's take a quick look. Well, maybe a little bit longer than your presentation, Matt, but I apologize in advance. Let's take a quick look at some of our exceptional financial performance in 2022. To help illustrate the overall health of the credit union, I'd like to share some charts with you and highlight three main areas: growth, asset quality, and earnings. A growth focus is truly necessary to ensure we remain a sustainable and competitive cooperative. Growth in membership allows us to continue to add products and services that exceed the growing expectations of our membership. Now, in the past few years, we've traditionally grown membership near or above 10%, as you can see. Our transition to a new core processing system allowed us the opportunity to clean up some dormant accounts or duplicate accounts. This resulted in a mere 0.6% membership growth and amounted to 167 members. Now, we grew a lot more than that, but in the past, we've had duplicate accounts. One member may have had 5 different accounts. That was consolidated down into one account for that member. On this slide, it represents a high-level overview of our assets, our loan, and deposit growth over the past 5 years. In 2022, we continued our trend of steady growth. While deposits slid slightly as interest rates began to rise, our loan volume was exceptionally strong, with nearly $50 million in loan growth. This chart displays the credit union's performance along with comparison to our peers. So the green bar is our peer credit unions. And our regulator, the NCUA, National Credit Union Administration, defines what that peer group is. We are now falling into the largest peer group. There's 6 peer groups. We're in the 6th peer group. That means all credit unions, $500 million all the way up to $50 billion. So our competition is stiff now that we're competing against all of the largest credit unions. There's only 719 credit unions in that tier 6 category. And Some of all of the credit unions, which amount to 4,776 credit. So it puts us in that top category, and it forces us to be able to do even more for our members. So taking a closer look at South Point's assets, in 2022, growth slowed from the past 2 years, and it went back to our normal trend of about 5% each year. 2020 and 2021 were an anomaly, and this was primarily due to the government stimulus dollars. But we did end the year back to our traditional growth path, 4.8% growth and $533 million now. On the deposit side, deposits slid slightly. As you all know, interest rates rose, and we now finally can start rewarding our savers. Finally, being able to reward those savers, we contributed $2.2 million in dividends back. Loan demand was also exceptionally strong, as mentioned previously, specifically in auto lending. There was a lot of pent-up demand coming out of COVID from all the supply chain shortages and the limited supply. And that pandemic led members to finally be able to either trade up or obtain a new auto. Nearly 15% growth and $50 million in loans led to one of the strongest years on record for the credit union. So with all of these new loans, let's take a look at the asset quality. Lending is certainly primarily one of the primary businesses that the credit union is involved in. And the loan to assets ratio indicates how successful credit unions are at optimizing their balance sheets. Given that loans are the highest earning asset for South Point, a higher ratio is generally better. However, this is also dependent upon our ability to manage the liquidity and the deposits to fund those. As loan growth was certainly extremely strong, deposits were flat last year. In the coming year, we'll begin optimizing our balance sheet of loans and deposits to ensure we have the needed liquidity to grow equity and continue to meet the lending needs of our members. Delinquency rose slightly at year end, but remained extremely low. If you look back historically, we've always been very low in comparison to our peer groups. Our peer groups were at 0.51% of assets, and we were at 0.21%. As you can see, the blue bar has always remained exceptionally below our peers. And this is certainly a reflection of the strength of our communities, the strength of our borrowers, and the loyalty of our members and their ability to repay their credit. The charge-offs are also a ratio of actual losses in relation to those balances of loans. And the credit union losses remained, again, extremely low at 0.08%, way below all of our peers. And that just shows that our ability to be able to manage our balance sheet. Credit unions, unlike banks, we don't have the ability to simply sell stock in order to raise capital. We must earn it over time with growth and equity. So let's look at that ability to manage that balance sheet. The net interest margin is the difference between what we charge on loans and the dividends that we pay on our deposits in relation to our total assets, our $533 million. While our percentage of 2.6% is much lower than our peer credit unions, this also demonstrates that South Point continues to give back more to its members in the form of lower loan rates and higher deposit rates, and also lower fees. At the end of the year, we announced to our membership as well that we reduced overdraft charges, and that's just one example of how we are setting the bar for other financial institutions and demonstrating our ability to give back to our members. This year, we expect to give back to our members over $250,000 in overdraft fees that they would normally have paid. Non-interest income is comprised of items that are not interest related. So like fees, origination income when we do mortgages, and other sources of income. Last year, this number did decline due to the reduction in the mortgage volume with the rising interest rates. However, we still are very much in line with our brethren, those 700 plus credit unions that are in that peer group. The operating expense ratio is a measurement on how the credit union is managing its expenses. Last year, we managed operating expenses extremely well. As you can see, it declined from the previous years. Efficiency was gained, and we managed to fall below our peers in terms of expenses to our overall average assets. Our return on assets is a ratio that the credit union uses to demonstrate the credit union's profitability and how efficiently the credit union is being managed. Essentially, how we utilize our assets to generate income. We're slightly below our peer group due to the reduction in mortgage volume and moving to this new peer group that I mentioned previously. And lastly, I know you guys were waiting for this moment. The credit union remains extremely well capitalized. We have over $550 million in equity, and that enables us to weather economic challenges and also to help members when they're experiencing economic challenges or hardships as well. So today I shared with you just a few of the highlights from the past year. As you saw from all of those pictures, it's hard to encapsulate all of the work that the credit union staff did over the past year. And our organization continues to grow in financial terms, but also internally, with opportunities for our staff to be able to take on new roles and to take leadership positions in order to continue to serve. This growth allows us to continue to return exceptional value to you. And I'd also like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to our hardworking staff and our volunteer board of directors and committee members. Their guidance and direction and unwavering commitment and dedication to Southpoint's purpose, and Southpoint's members, and building a stronger and more prosperous financial future for all of them. Finally, I'd like to thank you for your membership, your continued support, your loyalty and patronage, and allowing us to continue to serve you. As your financial partner, we are dedicated to truly empowering people to enhance their lives. In the year ahead, we're all committed as a staff and a volunteer group to continuing to work hard every single day to earn your business and doing our very best for it. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Jay. Now, moving on to unfinished business. At this time, there is no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business. At this time, I would like to turn to Adam Seifert, the board secretary, to provide the report from the nominating committee and declaration of board of directors nominees.
In accordance with the credit union's bylaws, the nominating committee has nominated the following candidates for the terms that expire at the annual meeting. Mark Brueggemann for a 3-year term, Scott Supernut for a 3-year term, and Ashok Loyal for a 3-year term. Pursuant to the credit union bylaws, these candidates, along with their biographies, were published to the membership via the December 31st, 2022 member account statements. The statement inserts also included information on how members can be nominated by petition. The deadline for nomination by petition was February 2nd, 2023 at 5 p.m. As no members petitioned to be added to the ballot and the number of nominees equals the number of positions to be filled, The bylaws authorize the declaration of each nominee elected by general consent. Congratulations, Mark, Scott, and Ash.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Now, all business reports and activities of the 87th annual meeting have been completed. I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn. Your name, sir? And do I have a second? Got that one? You. Pat Gutenberg. Didn't recognize you back there. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Right, motion carries.